I haven't I haven't heard that before. Sounds nice. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Everyone out there. It's Shabbat. I didn't get the feeling of that. Maybe I saw just on Facebook that it is the spies that went up to Jerusalem to see the land. Joshua, Mr. Joshua himself, he that took over from Moses, the big prophet, the big leader, Moses. He took over his domain. Someone told me that who made the sun stand still? Yes, it was Joshua and Moses, and an earlier guy, much later on, that made the sun stand still. And Joshua commanded the sun to stand still, but Moses, he did it with his mind. He did it with his inner attributes. Wow. So there is truth to that. People may not believe that kind of stuff. The leftists, they don't believe that kind of stuff. But you see, the leftists, they make their own Moses and Joshua. They make their own miracles. That the sun may not stand still for them, but the truth is standing still, and they avoid it completely. The truth, the fact, for the leftist, is just a figment of their imagination. They can't believe it. The truth, the fact, it's too much for them to handle. So the leftist left the building. And Joshua, I don't remember that story, but they went into the land. They were asked to go into the land, and they wanted to see what's there. And they came to Jerusalem, obviously, and that is what the Jews are celebrating today. Jerusalem again. Here the other week or some weeks ago, they got blamed. Israel, the Jews that was celebrating the freedom of Jerusalem in 1967, when this 6-day war was happening. Who would believe war can be won in 6 days? Look at Ukraine today. I bet Mr. Zelensky will hit back this big giant of Russia. But we we ask for God's blessing. May they have their Shabbat too. The one is trampling on Shabbat is Mr. Putin. I may be wrong, but you can't trample on Shabbat. So they went into the land to see, and they came back. And the spies said, they are too big. This heritage of this land, those that have been occupying this land for years back, they are so great. They are high and mighty, like the PhD in front of me. I feel small to them, these PhD professors and all these kind of... When you come to a doctor, you feel just like a little boy. A doctor make you feel as a little underdog that can't say anything for his argument's sake. Let me turn this music on. It was nice. I will be blamed for copying music here, so I can't let you in on that kind of music for a long time. You see, they came back, and some of them are these fear mongers. They were maybe the leftists that came, and most of the leftists, they are afraid. They make people afraid, or they manipulate people so they get afraid, just like the media today. It's portrayed as an angle of point, the angle of argument point. The media is replacing you and me. When we hear something, we either get scared or encouraged. So they scare us with their words. I don't believe their words. They are fearmongers and liars. The leftists are liars. True and true. So when they came to Jerusalem, it's so high walls. The walls are so high. We will be conquered. If we try these giants, we will be conquered. We will be defeated. And it's kind of a military advice to Joshua. Don't go there. Don't go there. This Israel, this place is so scary. So we better avoid this place. Let us find somewhere else. If there is a place for us. No, as I told the other day, Abel, he didn't belong here. Abel, he should be void. And it's something mysterious about Israel. If you come to see it, it's both flesh, bodies, but also void. And some part of the void is doing their chores. They do it maybe voluntarily. They do it out of duty. Maybe they do it just because they love Israel. I think most of them love Israel. So, do you love Israel, my friend? You may not believe the promises, but for me, it's different. So they came back from that place, I bet they were so exhausted. So they were, "Oh, give me a break. This is not for us." But only one man said, polar opposite. He believed that this land can be taken back from those that have to. You see, if people, when I was a child, you get scared of thieves. They are kind of scorpions and snakes. They're kind of poison and bad drug for you. The thieves, you kind of get scared by the pure fact that there is thieves. And I have to admit, I don't like to say it so directly, but there is fear regarding Palestinians. What is happening here? There is fear regarding Palestinians because they threaten with killing, stabbing, exploding, terrorism. That is their argument. It's kind of, they lost it completely. I don't blame the Palestinians per se, but it's their drive. Death is their drive, and they may prove me wrong. But what can you say when people demand the land that belongs to God to be given back to the human, to the bad humans? It shouldn't be belonged by any person per se. And it will forever be a dispute about land as long as it's God's. And you see, it's a intricate matter because it's connected. This promises of God. He is a smart guy. If you keep my promises, you will keep the land. What a funny thing to say. It's in there. It's kind of obvious. It's not plainly written, but if you keep yourself close to me, if you obey my law, I will let you keep the land. I will promise you that this land is forever yours. It's for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this kind of God they have it's kind of a funny thing, because now Israel is more or less, I would say, I would not deem it any which way, because there I have the notion of that Israel is the place. But it is a secular state. It contains religious parties. But when the religious get preoccupied with with stuff, regulations and so on, it's not from the heart, my friend. It's not from the heart. It's from your mind. It's from your maybe your need of control. As long as we are void, keep the connection with God. That's when everything is smoothing out. It's no problem. And God will put fear in those that create fear for you. The fear He will create is that you are so high and mighty. It's the polar opposite, that the little children of Israel, Benjamin was the last tribe. He had nothing to say, at least. Joseph and all these kind of tribes. It's mind-blowing that these small traveling Wilburys, they were traveling from Egypt to Israel. And when they came to their border, they were so high and mighty and so on. But if they keep the promise, keep the commandments, if you follow my rules, just, you don't mind me, just follow my rules. You don't need to believe in me, just follow it. So this is kind of good for even the atheists. God doesn't command you to believe anything. God only wants you to keep the commandment because it makes a connection. God needs that connection. So what is that too much to a people that he called him his own? He promised them to have a land if they kept the end of their bargain. If they kept the end of their bargain, they will keep the land. It's mind-blowing even to sit and say something like that, because there is no state, either religious or secular, that have this kind of concept. We see it in this begotten son. He went off. He was vulnerable. Not to stigmatize all those that want to be independent, no. Independence is good. But you can grow independence close to the one that gave you the promises. I don't say your parents. Parents may be off themselves. I don't say you need to be close to your brother or sister. They may be so off themselves that they don't even know their spiritual place. They are like refugees without even admitting to that. They will most probably not admit to their state of refugee. It's kind of mind-blowing in itself. People may be so off, they don't regard any respect to their own kind, not even to their own siblings and children. Those with siblingshood and children should mind that kind of relation. You can't break it. You will only break yourself. Avoid them for whatever that take. Just avoid them. Don't come near. Don't be close. Because if they can't accept you for who you are, that is their own rejection. It's kind of this land of Israel and the Jewish people is all connected with ourselves. We have to keep the relationship as something very clean and holy. That's why we suffer. When something is holy, when something is clean, and it gets messed up, it's when we are suffering. If you don't suffer because of the lack of connection, you are so off. You are so off that maybe you will not be even found within your own parameter. So this one spy came back and told, we can take them. He may have misinterpreted everything, Because if one thing is said and confirmed by others, it's given as a truth. But this old guy, he may have understood something more. That he kept this in his heart. That if we keep, he have seen so much during the time of Moses, if we just keep close to God, he gave us all these commandments and promises. Even promises before we got the commandments. He led us out of Egypt. He did all these kind of department of sea and fire, and he buried the whole Egyptian army. So, what is your problem? Can't you see? Can't you open just your eyes and see that if we just keep, if we don't even need love, just keep the promises for the despair of getting blowback. Just keep the promises. You don't need so much feelings. You see all the churches and TV pastors and all this guy. It's all about some emotions, some feeling. I don't think that feeling does it better. I don't think that this kind of, what can I call it? It's kind of a game, or it's a show. There is no show in that fact that just keep straight, keep a straight road for your feet. Don't be led into something crooked. What you do. So, my friend, keep it. Just do as it's told. Today it's much, much easier. The road is paved even larger, wider, because it wanted to attract even you. Even you, that is going straight to hell, paved with good intentions. You may portray yourself as a good intention. It doesn't really help. Intentions doesn't really help. I don't believe in intentions. I have done so much wrong, yes, with a good intention. And you can't really excuse yourself out of that. It's just given that you did wrong and have to learn. This is my learning curve, that I just did wrong. So this spy believed. He got it. He kind of got it. And maybe Joshua didn't want to attempt to put them to their test. This old guy, similar to these old people, Israel, believed that if you just keep the promises, you will conquer, and it will give fear to the Palestinians. It will give fear. It will make them fear you for whoever, whatever. So we read often in the Bible that the enemy of Israel got really scared. They got scared out of these people that had God on their side. Bob Dylan sang a song with God on our side, and it's just used for the purpose of winning the battle, but it's not good to do that with God on our side. It have to be something making connection with our siblings, reunite with ourselves. Don't despair, my friends. Don't be worried. Just believe that when you keep yourself to God, do what's right, It's very simplistic. The former people in Israel got all these law and regulations. 316, I think. It's all well. It's I can't say something about that. It's their regulation. I don't mind it. But what you want people to do for you, just do it for them. That is kind of engagement in itself. That is kind of love in itself. And sometimes even that is too much to bear. Even I feel that. I'm so selfish. I can't stand myself. That's why I go out, meet other people. Yesterday I had a nice visit from my dear friend. He wanted to visit me, and we went to the city church, and we went other places too. And it's nice when people want to see you. It's kind of you are in their heart. Don't despair, my friend. You will get what you need. Keep yourself to God. Keep yourself there in the void. Don't be flesh and bone. Don't brag about anything like the men in the churches are doing. They brag about their conquerors. They conquered this person and that place. All this bragging is enough. Get out of here. I don't trust you. I don't believe in you. You irritate me too much. I shouldn't even mention you. So, it's kind of, the spies had to go out even on a Shabbat day. They shouldn't go so far, but they did. People are taking, I saw those took the light train. It's in the middle of Jerusalem. Promises. You have to do something on Shabbat that even Shabbat regulation can't because God, the love, the engagement is beyond Shabbat rules, beyond regulations. When you do save a life on Shabbat, it's proven that you have understood it all. You got it right. When you can break your own rules. I don't think Israel got war because they broke Shabbat for their own pleasure. No. God is not like that. I don't believe that God is that. I think when you do something that even breaks your own rules, shows that you have some love. You can do so much for others just in order to meet their needs, even to break Shabbat. Jesus did that. So my friends, I wish you all the best. Shabbat Shalom, and I hope you succeed. I hope you keep the commandments and you will get the promises as a blessing. You will be the blessing, my friends. Amen.